And what that means is that our criminals are becoming more risky and they're becoming more violent because they're more inclined in these last few years to break into a business while the workers are still present.
What is the state of violent crime in South Africa, and what is the impact on businesses operating in poorer communities? Joining me to unpack this further is my colleague Gerbrandt van Heerden. Gerrie, welcome back to the CRA channel.
Thank you, Simpe.
My first question to you is, what is the state of crime in South Africa, and have we recorded any progress in effectively combating crime in the country?
So in order to judge how violent South Africa is, it is quite useful to look at the murder rate, which is the number of murder cases per 100,000 people. Now, the murder rate is one of the most reported crimes in South Africa, and therefore it is quite a useful tool to understand how violent the country is. Now, over the long term, South Africa has made significant progress in bringing down the murder rate. In 1994, there were 67 murders per 100,000 people, and that has come down to 31 murders around the 2012-2013 period. So over the long term, South Africa has made progress in reducing the murder rate. However, in the short term, we see a different story emerge. In the last few years, the murder rate in South Africa has steadily increased. And it now currently stands at 36 murders per 100,000 people. Now, crime has a major impact on doing business in South Africa. So it's also important to look at what's happening with regards to crime and business. Business burglary, which is breaking into a business which is currently uninhabited at the time, that has come down significantly since the 2002-2003 period. In 2002, there were 163 cases of business burglary, and that has come down to 119 cases last year. However, business robbery, which is breaking into a business when the employees or the workers are still currently at the business premises, that has escalated significantly over the same period. In fact, the business robbery rate has quadrupled since 2002. And what that means is that our criminals are becoming more risky and they're becoming more violent because they're more inclined in these last few years to break into a business while the workers are still present at the business premises at the time.
Enjoying this analysis? Click here to sign up for our 30-day free trial for more content from the CRA.
With the number of violent crimes rising, how is this impacting the businesses that operate in poorer communities?
So data from the South African Police Service has shown that the businesses that are most likely to be targeted by robbers are general dealers and spaza shops. Now, general dealers and spaza shops are small businesses that are usually located in townships, rural areas, and poor communities. So it really shows how crime disproportionately impacts businesses operating in marginalized areas. Now, there are also other implications. Firstly, crime makes it difficult for workers to effectively participate in the labor market. For example, employees are less likely to work at night when it's most dangerous to work. Employees are also less likely to commute regularly using public transport because that's usually a crime hotspot. Also, it's very difficult for businesses to operate sustainably in this country because of crime, especially those located in poorer areas because businesses in townships, for example, cannot afford insurance. So it's very difficult for them to recover after an incident of crime. Furthermore, any money that is available in order to add extra security measures, that takes away money from other areas that could have helped the business to expand and to employ more people. So crime also has an impact on the poverty levels in South Africa. Also, crime negatively impacts the country's image, and foreigners who see South Africa or that see South Africa as a dangerous destination is not that likely to travel to the country for leisure purposes. And this affects the tourism industry, an industry where a lot of low-skilled and semi-skilled South Africans are employed. So all these examples show how crime really, really disproportionately impacts poorer South Africans.
And Khari, what recommendations might you suggest we use in order to combat violent crime in the country?
So I propose a two-step solution. Firstly, we need to reinstill confidence in the police. The one thing that needs to happen is for confidence to be reinstilled in the police. And we can only do that by reforming the police. That includes improving leadership of the South African Police Service, removing legislation such as BEE, add more resources to the Independent Police Investigative Directorate, or IPID, which is in charge of investigating crimes committed by police, and also ensuring greater collaboration between the police, private security, and community safety groups. Now, that's the first thing that should be done. The second thing that should be done is that there needs to be socioeconomic reforms, because crime often has its origins in poverty and unemployment and lack of opportunity. So if we can reform the police and couple that with necessary economic reforms, we will start to see positive trends in South Africa's crime levels.
Thank you so much, Khari. If you'd like to find out more on this topic, we recently published a report on the state of crime in South Africa. Gerbrandt van Heerden is the author, and you can access it by clicking the link in the description below for our 30-day free trial.